What
right?
did you learn working with those guys in prison? Maybe you went into it with some preconceptions. Any of those preconceptions get
Well,
changed?
I went in not so much with preconceptions, but with just kind of not knowing. And maybe it's the kind of mindfulness training I've had. I kind of go in not knowing what's going on. I was a little scared the first time I did work at the prison. And I will say the first bit of prison work wasn't as a psychologist. It was as a volunteer in the Buddhist group. So I would go and I'd lead meditation sessions and things like this. And so that wasn't so bad because it wasn't quite as scary because I knew I was going in to meet with people who were in prison, but these were Buddhists who were in prison. So, you know, how bad could it be, right? And it was a wonderful experience. It was really wonderful. So by the time I actually started doing CFP stuff in the prison, I was already comfortable with the prison. I already knew some people in there, and so I was kind of desensitized. So I went in just wondering how it would go. And what I found was that these guys in the prison were the single most committed, hardworking group of clients I'd ever had in my life. And when we talked about, I mean, they took the groups, they took the compassion group, and they worked it. And I gave them a 130-page manual, which is way too dense. And they read it, and they read it. In fact, I even have an outcome study that I'm going to be working to publish over the next few months. And I actually haven't gotten to publish yet. And one of the reasons was that the outcomes in the people in the CFT group were very good. But the effects, the time by group interactions, the differences in terms of outcome between the CFT group and the control group, the people who didn't get the group, weren't significant a lot of the time because our control group people were getting better too. And I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, is anything going on with the prison? Why is our control group going up in compassion and going down in anger? Why is this happening? And I actually, we had this monthly follow-up group with the guys in the anger group. And I asked them, I said, do you have any ideas? There's something going on in the prison or something like this? And they kind of looked down and they kind of looked at me and they're like, we may know what's going on. I said, well, what? And they're like, well, a lot of those guys, they're like, our cellmates or they're in our, and so we've been teaching them this stuff. They've been showing them the manual.
They've been doing missionary work.
Yeah, they have been, which of course as a researcher is very problematic. But in terms of asking questions like, how do you change the culture of a prison, right? It was very powerful that these guys were not only benefiting, but the work they were doing with compassion made them want to help one another. They made them want to help, they wanted to help other guys that weren't in the group. And I've had guys write me from prison and people who have gotten out saying, hey, I want to do this work. I want to help, help people who get out of prison. I want to help get it into other places. So it has been a really fantastic experience.
Yeah.